Good morning. If you'd like to stand, we'll sing our call to worship. You have but one mission, that's to live your life. You have but one mission, that is all. No more fooling around, asking anyone's permission. Just ask your very heart and soul. I have but one mission, and that's to live my life. I have but one mission, and that is all. I'm tired of fooling around, asking everyone's permission. Just ask my very heart and soul. You have but one mission, and that's to live your life. You have but one mission, and that is all. No more fooling around, asking anyone's permission. Just ask your very heart and soul. Just ask your very heart and soul. Just ask your very heart and soul.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Traverse City. My name is Blake Ringsmith, and I am thrilled to be your worship assistant on this lovely winter mid-morning. I'd like to welcome everybody who is watching on our YouTube channel as well. And I'd also like to share some announcements with you. My favorite alliteration, as I mentioned earlier, the Father Fred Frostbite Food Drive. You might be surprised I get paid to speak for a living sometimes, but there it is. Thank you to everyone who worked at the Father Fred Frostbite Food Drive or brought in contributions for that event. The food drive is continuing through today, so they don't have any final figures yet, but earlier in the week they said they had received an historic amount of contributions this year, so yay. Hopefully we'll have a final tally for you next week, but today we wanted to let you know what a huge impact our service has made to the community and the generosity of this food drive. Thanks to everyone. And so we still have time right down there at Tom's East Bay. We can contribute. Our annual meeting, very important thing that's coming up next Sunday, February 22nd at 12:30 p.m. That would be after the service, shortly after the service. During the meeting, we will review the 2025 budget and our financial position from last year. We will vote on the budget for this year, 2026, and elect members to the nominating committee and the board of trustees. A quorum is required, so we ask that if it's possible for you to attend, please do. And everyone is welcome, but only members would vote, but again, everybody's welcome. And before the meeting, there'll be a potluck with soup and bread, and it's always fabulous. And now we have our statement of unity, which should be up there on the screen together. Divine peace flows in my mind and heart, and so it is.
I'm quiet, I'm calm, I'm at ease. I'm quiet, I'm calm, I'm at ease. Right here and right now, I'm at peace with myself. I'm at ease. I'm quiet, I'm calm, I'm at ease. Right here and right now, I'm at peace with my friends. I'm quiet, I'm calm, I'm at ease. I'm quiet, I'm calm, I'm at ease. I'm quiet, I'm calm, I'm at ease. Right here and right now, I'm at peace with my world. I'm quiet, I'm calm, I'm at ease.
Now, time for prayer from Monday's Daily Word, February 9. Sometimes my mind feels crowded, planning, deciding, doing. I'm thinking about what to wear, what to eat, what needs to get done. But even in the swirl of daily distraction, I know there's a threshold that I can cross. I picture a doorway between scattered thoughts and quiet clarity, and with a breath, I step through. On the other side, I remember I'm not separate. I'm one with God, with divine presence, with my highest self. Resting in this awareness, something deeper is revealed. I'm not just in the presence, I am one with it. Then a greater truth unfolds. I am one with all that is, every person, every leaf, and every star. There is no separation. I trust I am one with the one great love that blesses all. And so it is. As we bring the lights down, we now enter into our time of meditation. A time to go within. And as we do, I invite you to take some slow, deep breaths. And with each breath out, feel the release of any tension in your body. With each breath in, feel the energy and vibrancy of the Christ within you. Breathing in and out, we become more centered, letting any cares or concerns fade away. For we are here now, for we are here together, for we are one. As we become more and more relaxed and aware, our heart space expands. As we feel the divine presence, always present, expanding into our awareness, our consciousness. We are here together today to celebrate that presence within each of us, with each other, and truly with everything in the world. This is just one dedicated opportunity to raising that consciousness, to letting go of our human concerns and reaffirming our divinity, and the path that we are to walk in that divinity. And we are reminded that to truly walk that path, we need our authentic selves. The real us. And it is our choice to let go of anything that no longer serves us, any facade we feel we may need to wear, or any mask. For you and I are divine children of God, just as we are, and we are here to fulfill that authentic, sincere, real purpose. Feel that truth. Breathe it in. And breathe out that vibration, that energy that is yours, that is your expression of the divine, singularly unique to you. You are beautiful. And in the silence, we embrace and affirm our individual beauty just as we are, knowing that we are in divine order in the silence. And as we return to this space now, I would like you to say with me after I say it, I am beautiful just the way I am. Together, I am beautiful just the way I am, and so it is. Amen. And together, let us say our Great Lakes Region prayer, which is, I think, on the screen there. Together, one presence, one power, God. We are one family, one heart, called to peace, love, strength, and action. Divine wisdom guides us now, and so it is.
When I stand before the Lord, I'll be standing alone. This journey is my own. Still, I want man's advice, and I need man's approval, but this journey is my own. Why would I want to live for man and pay the highest price? What does it mean to gain the whole world only to lose my life? So much of what I do is to make a good impression. This journey is my own. And so much of what I say is to make myself look better. journey is my own. Why would I want to live for men and pay the highest price? And what does it mean to gain the whole world only to lose my life? And I've never felt relief like I feel it right now. This journey is my own. 'Cause trying to please the world, it was breaking me down. It was breaking me down. And now I live and I breathe for an audience of one. Now I live and I breathe for an audience of one. Now I live and I breathe for an audience of one. Because I know this journey is my own. And why would I want to live for men and pay the highest price? And what does it mean to gain the whole world only to lose my life? And you can live for someone else, and it will only bring you pain. I can't even judge myself. Only the Lord can say, well done. This journey is my own. This journey is my own.
Thank you, Blake. I know you could have done it if you had to. Actually, I was not trying to make some grand appearance. I remembered I had forgotten something I wanted to use, so I just kind of snuck out for a quick moment. Good morning. It's good to see all y'all here. That's what they say down south, all y'all. Before I get started today, I just want to mention that there are two special events that occur this coming Tuesday, the 17th. The first of which is Fat Tuesday. Now, if you don't know about Fat Tuesday, it's I'm not sure who came up with it, but it's an excuse to gluttonize yourself for one day prior to the beginning of Lent, when many religious organizations or spiritual communities promote fasting, promote giving up something that you like, a lot of times food, as a sort of sacrifice during Lent. And I lived next to a very devout Catholic family when I was a kid. And I wasn't really very religious or going to church much, and they were kind of going, oh, Lent. So what's Lent? So you got to give something up you like. And I'm saying, man, I'm glad I'm not Catholic. So that's the first one. Punchkis are something that were developed for Fat Tuesday. I only know this from a friend, but they're pastries about this big that are jammed packed with different types of jellies and gels and all kinds of stuff. They probably have about 1,000 calories apiece. But gosh, they're good. And I have one every year, so I'm going to stop Tuesday someplace and get myself a punchki. I also found out that in Poland alone, there are over 10 million punchkis eaten in one day. And in many parts of this country, particularly the Midwest, like Chicago and Detroit, where there are very large Polish communities, some bakeries bake 10 to 20,000 for that day alone. So get yourself out and get you a punchki. The second and really more important day is that it is the Random Acts of Kindness Day. And this is an actual day that was developed by the Random Acts of Kindness Foundation in 1995 in Denver, Colorado. And it's a day just to spread kindness through simple, unplanned acts. Buy the person behind you in line a cup of coffee or lunch for the family behind you. Call a friend that you haven't talked to in a while. Leave a note for a coworker. Say thank you to a retail worker, or just do something kind for yourself. Now, I think every day could or should be the Natural Act of Kindness Day. But we have to start someplace. And if we start with one, maybe it will spread. And I'm reminded of my favorite line from the movie, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, where the husband of the woman who's kind of the lead is just rattled. Things have been going down the tube. They didn't know if the world was going to continue or the world was going to blow up. And he says, I don't know much, but I know one thing. We have to be kind. We have to be kind to one another. And isn't that the truth more today than ever before in my life? So let's take that with us this week, okay? This is the final Sunday before Lent. It begins Wednesday with Ash Wednesday. And for the next 5 Sundays, we are going to take a look each week at a characteristic or part of the Lenten series, which this year is called Release and Reimagine, which just happens to be the title of the Unity Lenten booklet for this year. Now, we have some of those out in the hall. I do have some and can get some more if you want to follow along, because over those 5 weeks, either Reverend Judy Che, Reverend Julie Che, Judy Grimes, or myself will be speaking. And we'll be taking a look at the different aspects and parts of Lent that are important to us. So if you want to follow along, these will be available for you. And these are great little books. The Release and Reimagine, every day of Lent has a certain writing to it. The first day is on something you might want to release. The next day is an idea on how you can reimagine your lives. And that goes on day in, day out through Lent. And every Sunday there's a special essay provided by different ministers and such from Unity. So even if you don't follow along, this is a great book, great booklet. So I'd recommend or suggest that you might want to pick one of those up. As I said, a lot of organizations give something up for Lent, sacrifice something. And in Unity, we do the same thing, but we do it a little bit differently. We don't sacrifice things, we sacrifice ideas. Ideas we have about ourselves that are no longer true, no longer serve our good, and in many cases have become outright detrimental to our spiritual life, our human life, and even our mental health. So what we are called to do is to let go of these during Lent. And that takes a certain amount of self-examination, doesn't it? But one of the things we can do is we can imagine the truth of what we are and put that into practice much more diligently. One of our principles is our thoughts become things. So this is a time we have to practice that. This entire Lenten season. What is it we want to get rid of, and what is it we want to manifest in our lives to make our spiritual lives better? That's the reimagining part of this Lenten process. How many here have ever heard of Napoleon Hill? A few. Now, he was an author of the early 20th century. He had one very successful book called Think and Grow Rich. And there was one line in there, and I always thought this was Carnegie, but it's not. It was Napoleon Hill. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This guy was an early lunatic and didn't know it. Now, that doesn't start actually until next Sunday with Lent. So today what I'm going to speak about are one of some of the things that we can do to prepare ourselves for Lent, to prepare ourselves to let go of what we don't want and to allow in that which we do. Today I want to speak about something that is tender, it's powerful, it's something that can change our relationships, our prayers, our relationships with others, our peace, and helps us prepare for the next 5 weeks. And that is the courage to be transparent. Now, some people might ask, what's tough about that? Why do you have to be courageous to be transparent? Well, I'm a perfect example of why you do. Because when we're not transparent, we hide from others, we hide from ourselves, we wear different masks that we think are appropriate so other people will accept us. And it ends up, as someone who has lived that experience, to never end well, and to, in some cases, be disastrous. Transparency leads to authenticity. And if we're living and acting in an authentic way, that leads to more spiritual freedom. And when we receive spiritual freedom, it releases God's light and our light from within and allows it to shine to the world. And isn't that what we're truly here for? To shine God's light and to shine our own light, a light that no one else has, just us. Now, when I say transparent, I don't mean you go out and tell everything about everything you've done to everybody. That's not a good idea. It doesn't mean that you share publicly what is private information. Spiritual transparency is something simpler. It is living in a congruent manner between what we are inside, what we think, what we believe, what we want to do, and the actual human manifestation of that. Are we actually living and talking about and preparing to do the things that we say we are? If we're not living congruently. All it means when we are aligned with the inside and out is that this is what is real for me right now, and this is how I'm going to be. And, I hope you like it, but if you don't, this is who I am. And that matters to me, that matters to God, and if the rest of y'all want to come along, that's fine. When we do that, we're aligned with Spirit and need fear nothing. And there's a quote from A Course in Miracles that addresses just that. If you knew who walks beside you on the path you have chosen or on the path you walk, fear would be impossible. Think about that. If we really know that Spirit is with us every step of our lives, every breath we take, things occur, but those things can be addressed. Those things can be handled, if you will. They don't need to break us, and we do not need to be afraid. Fear has been the biggest motivating factor in almost my entire life. It has kept me from doing so much, led to at least one divorce and almost a second. Because when we're not what we are, we're wearing these masks, these faces, pretending we're to be not what we are, but what we think other people want us to be. And let me tell you, that takes an awful lot of energy. And when you get home at the end of the day, there's very little to give to the people who are the most important to you, who you love and that love you. And that is tragic. In spirit, transparency isn't exposure, it's liberation from what we've been holding back and from being who we are here and what we are truly meant to be. It requires us to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. And my God, do I hate being vulnerable. I've learned how to do it. I can't say I enjoy it. But when I am vulnerable and let other people in, it strengthens me. I learn from that. I become more of who I am. Now, the question some of you might be asking is, well, why do you hide from yourself? Oh, there are so many reasons. I'm not going to go into them all. But most of us, I think, learned how to hide early in our lives. We learned how we present the acceptable, what we consider acceptable view to the world. We learned which emotions were welcome, which are over the top and can't be expressed. And for some of us, we learned that it doesn't matter what your emotion is, you keep it to yourself, you don't talk about it, and if you can, you don't show it. And that is a truly damaging philosophy. We learned how to stay agreeable. We learned how to look strong and how to seem and say we are fine when we are everything except fine. You can find that even in spiritual places. We can hide behind being a helper. We can hide behind a smile. We can even hide behind spiritual language. We can say, I'm blessed, and I have nothing to worry about, when actually we're broken. Can say, I've forgiven, when we're still deeply hurt by someone or something. And we can say it's all good when that's the last thing in the world we feel. Now, these strategies at one time offered us protection. They offered us peace. They offered us the ability to cope with things and helped us belong. So they are not bad in and of themselves. The problem comes in, at least for me, is that when I continue to bring those forward into today, when they should have been left 60, 70 years ago, back where they were originated. But at that time, that was the only way I know how to cope, only way I could get through the day, was to do those things. But what can protect us in one season can destroy us in another if we aren't aware of them and try to do something about them. Hiding has a cost. I don't just hide from you, I hide from myself. And when I hide from me, I feel separated from myself, from my loved ones, from my own heart, and certainly from spirit. And as I said, that never ends well. I remember the thought of loving myself never occurred to me because I didn't even like myself. I was ashamed. I was afraid. I felt I was alone all the time. And the only way I could cope with that was to begin at a very early age building these walls, not just to keep everyone out, but to keep me from expressing myself, because I was afraid I'd be ridiculed, I'd be lost, I'd be left, I wouldn't be enough. You fill in your own blanks, we all have them. I can say honestly, that's one thing that I do not plan on doing again. In unity, our first principle is there's one presence, one power, God the good. So the moment we become honest with ourselves, we're not stepping out into emptiness. We're not on our own. We're stepping into presence. We're stepping into that holy place where God is there. God is there for us and will give us power, protection, love, whatever it is we need. It's there in that presence, if we only open ourselves up to receive it. The Apostle Paul gives a powerful image in the second book of Corinthians in chapter 3. He says, and all of us with unveiled faces are being transformed from one degree of glory to another. Unveiled faces. That's a spiritual picture of transparency. We are not trying to hide ourselves. We are not trying to keep ourselves inside. We are saying, this is who I am, this is what I believe, and this is what I'm going to do. The veil covers up all of our truth with a capital T. And what it leaves is shame, fear, a false identity, and us continuing to use old conditioning methods. This is what the veil says. I'm strong. I don't need anything. I don't need anybody's help. I can do this all by myself. If I'm fully seen, I'll be rejected. I have to earn love, and above all else, I have to remain in control no matter what I do. I have to control myself, I have to control others, I have to control what's going on in the world because it's on my shoulders. Paul says that we don't, or transformation doesn't happen when we master the mask. Isn't that what we feel like we do? God, if I can just go out there and look like this, people are going to believe I know what the heck I'm talking about, right? Or if I could pull this off, my boss will think, well, he should get a promotion. Or that certain somebody will love me. Transformation happens when we let the veil drop. Not because we become flawless, not because we've learned something different, because we have become honest with ourselves and with Spirit. We are not trying to hide ourselves from anything. So how do we do that? Two things are going to make you shiver: self-inquiry and sacred honesty. Now, I don't know about you, but the first time I saw that, I just kind of got, ooh, that sounds like being vulnerable, doesn't it? Oh, that's not what I like to do. But it's one of the clearest ways to give a self-inquiry is being compassionately truth-telling with ourselves and with the presence of Spirit. We can try to lie to ourselves as much as we want. We can't fool God. God knows. And you can try to pull it over God's eyes, but good luck with that. We have a beautiful description of that in Psalm 139. It says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. See if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." Now, this isn't a prayer for punishment. It's not a plea for being saved. It's a prayer for illumination. Search me, know me, lead me. It's a prayer in a way that we can step out of our own shadows and into the light of Spirit. In unity, we might say, Spirit, reveal what's true to me so I can be free. It's basically the same thing. Self-inquiry isn't an attack. How many times have I stopped and looked at something that I didn't like and beat up myself because I didn't like it or couldn't change it? It's not self-attack. It's not what's wrong with me. It's what's true in me. And then we move on from there. Eric Butterworth said, the important key is not to set things right, but to see them rightly. It's not our job to set things right. It's our job to see what they really, truly are and respond from there. That's the shift. So many of us have tried to make things right in so many ways. Managing appearances, managing others, managing outcomes. We all know that doesn't work, don't we? But healing begins with that right seeing. One of our basic unity thoughts is that thoughts help to shape our futures, right? Self-inquiry is a spiritual practice so that we can help to manifest that life that we want, that we desire so much. So if you're interested, here are a few questions you can ask that create transparency. Only if you're interested now. Don't want you to go out on the limb. What am I feeling honestly beneath this story? What will happen when I'm afraid? Or what am I afraid will happen if I am real? If I show my true self? What am I protecting? What do I need? And what is Spirit inviting me to face gently today? Because the crux of all those things we fear are things we can do to help ourselves. And with Spirit's guidance, we can do that. But I can only speak for myself. I cannot do that on my own. What makes it possible is that unity reminds me that the truth of who we are is not the mask. Charles Fillmore talked about the I am as a spiritual identity, one true nature. And this matters because transparency isn't you standing alone, exposed to the world. It is you remembering that I am rooted in God. That's what transparency is. I am not fear. I am not my defense mechanisms. I am not the version of me that I learned to survive earlier in my life. I am presence, expressing, growing, learning, and most of all, awakening to what is. Transparency isn't, hey, look at me. It says it is let truth be seen. And there's a big difference. And when truth is revealed, shame tends to disappear because shame depends on the lie that you are your struggle. You're not, well, I wasn't good enough at that. I'm not good enough. Failure is just an experience to come back up and learn something new. I think we learn much more from failure, a lot from being defeated on occasion, and from that, like the phoenix, we can rise from the ashes. You are more than the moment. You are more than your mood. You are more than your history. When we become transparent and authentic, something happens. God's light and our light are available to shine to the rest of the world. Not because we try harder, but because we stop hiding what's already true within us. Jesus put it so succinctly in Matthew 5 in the Sermon on the Mount when he says, "You are the light of the world. No one lights a lamp and puts it under a blanket. Let your light shine before others." This is not a command to perform, it's a realization of identity that we are the light. And I believe that my one and only goal for being here is to let that shine as best I can. What blocks the light are the baskets that we carry around that weigh us down. Baskets of fear, image management. I can't let them see me, and I have to be perfect to be worthy. Transparency removes the baskets, and authenticity takes the cover off the lamp so that we can shine. And Jesus also frames it. The light doesn't just exist for you. It shines before others. It's not just for us. It's meant to be shared. It's meant that we can share the part of us that God has given us to fulfill while we're here. And to me, it's spiritual malpractice if we don't do so. When you're acting from who and what you truly are and you're real, it's easier to be around you because you're not tense, wondering if you're going to screw up and let something out that you don't want to. Conversations are kinder, and the presence of God becomes more visible in life every day. And sometimes the greatest gift we give to people is our honest presence. It's the courage to say, "Me too." It's the courage to say, "I don't know, I'm still learning." Or, "I don't have it all together, but I'm willing to learn." And that gives people permission to show their own light, to be comfortable in their own skin, and to be themselves. And it doesn't mean that you drop your pain all over somebody else. It means that you stop pretending that you don't have pain. You stop wearing a mask, wearing a mask as your identity, and you live unveiled. Prayer is not about begging to God. It's opening our awareness to what's already there. I have a short practice I'd like to share with you and have us do today. Only take a minute or two. And it's a simple example of what you can use this week. You can use it in the car, only, of course, if you're not driving. A kitchen, a chair, wherever you might be. So just for a moment, I invite you to get comfortable again. Close your eyes if you like and take a deep breath. Silently ask, what am I feeling honestly this morning? No fixing, no judging, just notice. Take another breath. What story am I telling myself about this feeling? Again, no shame, just notice. Take a breath. What is the truer thing Spirit is inviting me to see? It's not harsh. It's the God thing. And I have an affirmation, if you would please repeat after me. I have nothing to hide from God. I have the courage to be real. I let my light shine. Amen. So here's my invitation or challenge for the week. Choose one act, just one, of sacred transparency. One place where you stop performing and start telling the truth with kindness. It may be as easy as saying, I need help. I need time. I said yes, but I meant no. I'm sorry. Let me correct that. This is what's true for me, and I want to say it and do it with love. You are not losing anything when you drop the mask and lift the veil. You are losing what never belonged to you in the first place. And you're gaining what is yours by divine right. Freedom, connection, and your light being released. This week, let's have compassion for ourselves and with others. Let Spirit search us, not to shame us, but to free us. Reveal what is true and heal what is fearful. And lead us in the way everlasting. We choose to live with an unveiled face. We remove the basket hiding our light and release the baskets that weigh us down. And let our light shine. Thank you and have a great week.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. All right. Now is the time we consider our blessings and our abundance to be shared with our spiritual community. A time to share our financial gifts. As children of a loving God, we live in the light of abundance, deeply grateful for all that has been given and all that is yet to come. We embrace the good that God provides with joy and thanksgiving. And let us say our prosperity blessing, which should be on the screen, perhaps. It's not on my screen. Oh, it's all right. That's okay. Maybe I'll say it and you. Let's take a vote. Is it working? Is it? Okay. Well, then together. God is the constant, unconditional, and unfailing source of good in my life, and so it is.
Everything I need to know about what lies before me. Everything I need to know about what lies before me is available to me.
service to a conclusion, except for a few parting thoughts and gatherings. I want to thank the music team as always, and everybody who has assisted, and you, of course, being here. Let me remind you that we have refreshments back in the fellowship hall, and ask that you join, and we can continue our time together. Let's close with prayer. Father, Mother God, thank you for being together, this time of spiritual sacredness, the message that we heard, the music that we shared. Let us take it into our hearts. Let us be influenced by it in our deeds, our actions, and our words as we go forward from here. Let each one of us be the light, not just for ourselves, but for others. That lighthouse that shines, that may be an example for those who are lost, affirming our divine purpose. And this we ask in your name, and so it is. Amen. Let's gather in a circle. All right.
Remind about the chaplains.
Oh, shoot. We can do this. Hey, Rowdy, is my mic on? It's flashing green. The battery is about to die? Okay. Look at us. What a beautiful circle. Let me remind you that there is also a private confidential prayer with our prayer chaplains at the front of the sanctuary and in the hallway as well. You'll know them by the orange name tags that they're wearing. And let us take this opportunity now to speak into the circle, or at least hold in our minds a special circumstance that calls for prayer that we wish to bring the highest good, the divine purpose to, knowing that it may not be what our human expectation or wants are. And speak it into the circle. We know that when two or more come together in your name, we are powerful. And we are powerful on our own, but so much more in this circle, connected by our hands, by our hearts, and our intentions. And we take these prayers, these requests, knowing that all is in divine order, and knowing that, as always, this or something better. Let us bless these prayers with our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.